Round 1. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry gamers.
Hello, and welcome, boys and girls, to the 119th episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We are powered by 8bit.net and Audio Technica. I'm not so humble host, Brendan White, who can be found everywhere at Brendan8bit. Joined today, my other two tips of the spear, the legs and thighs to my breast three-piece feed, Miss Ali Hart, who can be found at Miss Ali Hart, and Saleem Abraham, who can be found at Saleem TD. How you doing today, you sexy buggers? What's going on this Sunday morning?
That was the most, suspiciously vulgar intro that I thought. I don't know what direction that was going in, because I'm like, he's really going for it right now. So, yeah, I'm doing good.
I got really good thighs. So
Yeah,
I can be the thighs in your breast three-piece feed.
That's what I thought. Works. Like I figure we've got thighs, breasts, and legs. No one's really interested in the ribs or the wings, but those other three pieces, there's definitely some sexual undertones attached to those three pieces, and I think it encompasses this little trio perfectly.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for thinking of us in this way.
Yeah.
I have heard us referred to on the streets as finger licking good, so
oh god.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How are you this morning, Brendan?
I'm good.
He's hungry, clearly.
I
a little
am.
toey,
I am all of the above. Hungry for a feed in every sense of the word, but no, I'm doing good. It's a sunny Sunday morning here, up in the Bris Vegas. We've been playing lots of games. It's good. Life is good. But yeah, I'm excited to riff with you two on this 119th episode of the THG. Excited. So I guess tell me, what have you guys been playing? I see we've got a pretty full slate of stuff that we've been tackling this week, which I'm excited to unpack.
Yeah, this looks like the first time in a long time where we've actually got a mix of stuff. We're talking about you, Sam.
It's the first time in a while we don't have WoW on the agenda.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. Yeah.
I played 25 hours to get my riding license out at the Frozen Lands the other day, but it's
after copying it from Jono last
Same
week,
impression.
you've hit the bottom, rock bottom, when Jono calls you out on your own goddamn podcast. So.
Jono had no chill, and it was absolutely delightful. It was nice not to be the bringer of sass last week. It was so good. Speaking and disappointing the audience with the same content, though, I am going to talk about Destiny, so fucking strap in, guys.
Yeah, we should probably tag team that together, because
we're going to tag team the audience.
Oh yeah. Two of the three-piece feed are going to be tackling Destiny 2 Forsaken in a big way. But what do you think? Lead us off. What do you reckon? What's your initial thoughts after having this for what is it now? 4 days, 5 days since it's released?
I have had the same experience that I remember first playing Destiny. There's a lot of content in there where they've kind of gone back to their roots, and I'm just absolutely I'm having so much fun. I finally also got to try Gambit as well, and everyone hyped that up. I didn't get to play it, but everyone hyped it up, and I'm like, I mean, how good can it be? Holy crap. It is so much fun. And everyone knows that I'm pretty anti-story. But the story for this is I'm actually paying attention, guys. I'm actually paying attention to the story. So props to Bungie for getting a girl to listen. Which all men knows a feat in itself. Yeah, I'm absolutely stoked. I'm actually thinking about playing it straight after the podcast. Been grinding it out all week, and that's why I had to actively make sure I played something else this week, so I had something else to talk about Destiny.
You Bungie junkie.
It is so good. I am mirroring exactly what you said. The story, I think it's probably my favorite piece of Destiny-esque story they've made since this game, even including Destiny 1. I've loved the story and the revenge aspects and that sort of spaghetti western vibe that they throw through it, and the bounty cards and the new cast of characters they introduce, and it's so good. I'm really loving cruising around Tangled Shore. I think that little world in itself is really pretty and unique and visceral in its own way. The sort of Scorn, the new enemy archetype they brought in, I think that's really cool. I like that there's these sort of dual flame welding melee guys and the little Screechers, I think they're called, the little sort of sped up exploding like suicide bomber guys.
No, see, I hate those ones.
They are a nightmare to tackle. Yeah. But I'm really liking it. I like how quick you level though. My goodness, like.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit suspicious. I'm like, I ain't that good. Like, so we are leveling up to a pretty fast extent. I don't know if this is like semi-assistance for the raid next week. But well, hang on. I'm trying to remember based on all the people that like have kind of talked around on what everyone's light level is at the moment. But I think the highest I've heard so far is like, is it 520 or 530 or something? Or
yeah, so there's a soft cap now of 500. So you can get to 500 based off base gear score, but then after that you can start putting your mods in and things to. It's a hard cap. I think it's 600, but I think at the moment it's capped at about 520. But they're planning on over the next few months opening it up to 600. So it's insane. I think I'm at 502 now. After the last couple of days, but I'm still rolling a lot of blues. I've never been so proud / disappointed to be like the blue bomber rolling, mid-tier trash, but.
Oh my God.
That's just how the gear goes.
That's the only thing that's bothering me right now is all the blues and having to be okay with the blues, and also how disgusting my hunter looks. She looks terrible. The gear that I have right now is not appealing whatsoever, and not a shader can save that girl.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You don't want to be wasting your shaders, especially like on a color combination you really like, on some blue, because you're going to be working that up to purples.
Exactly.
And maybe an exotic piece thrown in there too. So yeah, I'm just this eclectic Technicolor Dreamcoat looking Titan at the moment, and it is painful to roll around. But I unlocked the Dreaming City last night. So I got in there, did that final end content to do that after the final boss. So I'm cruising around in there at the moment, and it is gorgeous. It's so nice. It's got a real like Willy Wonka on acid, Lord of the Rings mashup, sort of elvish vibe going on.
Like I haven't made it there, unfortunately, guys. I've been waiting to actually do the campaign with someone and walk it through, because then again, I can only imagine how many times I'll be doing that. But I haven't made it to there, but I've seen it. Like, I've seen the stream, and it actually reminds me of, like, OG Tower. Like, but just a little bit more prettier, like really polished with the foliage and everything like that. So, yeah, I can't wait to make it to that, that stage or whatever. And apparently the, what is it called? The event, the random events that happen. What are they called?
Like the public events?
Public event, yeah. Apparently those in the new areas are pretty intense as well, and long.
So some of the ones in the Tangled Shore are pretty intense. And there's one that ties into one of these prison pods is sort of crash landed there, and it opens up and you've got to kill some enemies, and then this, wanted criminals there, and you've got to try and freeze him to escalate it to heroic, and that is a good little back and forth there. It's hectic.
Yeah. That one's actually pretty easy, but there's like other ones where like I think you have to like protect a grenade or something like that, or a mine. And that's...
Yeah, I can't remember that. I think that's over in one of the other sections there. I don't think I've hit that one yet.
Oh, but, okay.
On the new subclasses, what did you end up rolling? So there's sort of 3 new additions for each main class, and then there's a spin-off on each of those subclasses. So what are you rocking?
Well, I'm a hunter. Which one do you think I fucking went with?
Did you go the fire knives?
Fire knives. Well, it's
or did you go the shadow mark where you're rolling those two double swords?
Yeah. Yeah. No, of course I went like that, because I didn't know about them, and I was watching someone stream and I saw them pick it, and I went, oh fuck, there's no no question which one I'm choosing. You're like a ninja. When you like initiate it, you essentially do like this like massive backflip into purple. And so yeah, I was a sucker and went for that one. Dual blades.
Yeah, and you're rocking dual katanas, and then you can sort of crouch and go invisible, I think, as well. So you can sort of
but you're
stealth kill from the
so
shadows.
like you're so like speedy and snappy and everything like that. I love playing it because especially when you just like you're right in the middle and there's ads everywhere and you're just like, I know what I'm gonna do. It's just like snap and you're just like you're all over the place, but they're gone. Ah, so good.
I've got envy. I didn't really accidentally pick it. I picked it thinking that, as in the other Destinies, you could just simply, once you finish the main story, go back to the tree on Isle, wherever the heck it is, and go through and get those new subclasses again. But apparently not. Apparently you can only get the one for now, and it might be some time until you get the second one. So I'm rolling around as Thunder Crash. So it's the one where, similar to Fists of Havoc for the Titan, but you actually become like a human missile or a guardian missile, and you fly through the air, and you can sort of fly yourself around the map and then just crash land and do this big like massive arc explosion. It's pretty cool, but it's a one and done. So you blow your load on that one hit, as opposed to the big hammer, which I want to you, where you're rocking this big giant hammer, swinging it around, creating flaming tornadoes and stuff. That's what I wanted, but instead I'm just a giant arc missile. But it does a hell of a lot of damage, which is pretty cool.
What do you think of Spider?
I love him.
Yeah.
I love him.
I thought he was a good addition.
Yeah, this giant, big, fallen
boss.
smuggler. Yeah, mob boss that's big, fat spider-looking guy. It's fantastic. And the
With
back and forth.
respiratory issues.
Yeah, and the riffing you sort of have with it. Oh, he does all the talking. You say your two lines in the whole expansion. Yeah, but he's great. I love him. Petra's a good little addition there.
She annoys the shit out of me now. I liked her originally, but now I'm just kind of like, I don't like you, girl.
I'm done with you.
I don't like you. It's also really awkward because my character kind of looks like her. So we're standing there in some of the cutscenes, and I'm just like, you guys look related.
Nothing wrong with being awoken. I'm an awoken fella. But yeah, it's great. I'm really happy. There's no sort of purchase envy like there was attached to Curse of Osiris and Warmind and things like that. I think just like Taken King, this is that third attempt that they've actually stuck the landing on.
Yeah.
Dream, have you got any questions? Are you sitting there sort of eerily silent and probably having a bit of FOMO from not being in on this hotness? But
definitely a little bit of FOMO. I'm actually, like, listening to you talk about this, I just think of the end of Destiny 1, how much action we got out of that and how fun that was. So, yeah, definitely a little bit of FOMO. I didn't get to play Destiny 2 this week. Unfortunately, my Destiny 2 buddy, Jonathan Peck, was unable to play the game, having a couple of tech issues on his end. So I just didn't think to really play it on my own. Yeah, I actually a little bit of FOMO. Yeah, who's the guy? Actually, riddle me this. I watched the trailers during the week, and there's the scene where the rest of Cade's fire team are just sort of surrounding his body, and the woman,
Ikora.
Ikora's like, we should have been there. Anyway, they agree not to like avenge him because they just don't want more bodies to fall.
Zavala.
Zavala, the little bitch.
Zavala bitches it. And then this other guy, who I've never seen, I don't know if he was in Destiny 2 elsewhere, but I've never seen him. He's like, I'll take care of it.
That's you.
Is that meant to be us?
Yeah, that's our Guardian.
Yeah. So
really?
they just had some Guardian there, but in playing the game, it's you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah.
That did not come across to me at all. I thought it was like another NPC.
Don't worry, it bothered me a lot, especially when, like, you're in the moment. Fucking Ikora's blah, blah, blah. Zavala's being a little blue bitch. And then my character turns around and says something, and I went, oh, no. I liked being silent.
How's Zabala's form?
He sucks, like, and I'm a Titan, so it's like, I feel dirty when he's our figurehead of our sort of, Guardian race or Guardian class, and he's just a punk bitch all the time. Like, I can't stand him.
He is punk bitch.
He is a punk bitch.
Yeah.
I hated Zavala like from the start of the I don't remember him being so annoying in Destiny 1, but definitely in Destiny 2, Zavala became this like really needy boyfriend, this really emotional needy person, and you're just like, what happened to you, dude? Like, and then Ikora is just some miserable like talk. So like the only really good, well, is it a spoiler?
No.
Yeah, don't spoil. Don't.
I think it's implied.
Think
Either
they're a couple.
people then know what, if they know, they know, and yeah. So we just have
They're a couple, aren't they?
they're a couple.
They're boinking.
Ikora and
Is that what it
Zavala.
is?
I don't
Yeah.
know. They both have shiny, polished domes. They might be into each other. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but Cade's definitely the pick of the three.
Definitely.
Ikora's all right too, but yeah, Cade's the man. And one thing that made me sad about this is that Nathan Fillion didn't voice him in Forsaken. We got some Nolan North sprinkled in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
And he does an admirable job. Like, he sounds similar, but you can pick
You can tell the difference because I mean everyone understands that like Nathan Fillion is Cade. Cade is Nathan Fillion. Like there's really no like line in between. So it was noticeable.
Yeah, so that sucked. I liked like Uldren. I liked him as the main big bad. I liked that.
So
Sort of
did
fleshed him out
I.
pretty well. I'm not going to go into any of that, but I think they developed his motives and everything pretty well through the storytelling and the cutscenes.
Yeah, they did. There was a few things where by the way, I know how it ends. Without playing it. But there was a few things I was kind of a bit like, okay, but what about? And then, but in the end, I definitely am worried about myself sympathizing with bad guys. I did that with Ghoul as well, so I don't know. They've had really good baddies.
Yeah, Destiny 2 is definitely they've put a nice depth to their main antagonists, and Uldren's another one that's in that goal vein, which is cool. But yeah, I'm keen. I haven't played any of Gambit yet, so I'm going to try
played
that
Gambit?
today or tonight. No, I've just done all the story and then some of the bounty side quests and things. So I'm keen to get into that today and see what all that hotness is about.
Yeah, Gambit is a lot of fun. It can be a level of frustration, but a lot of people are already developing some tactics on the best way to execute it. Also talking about obviously new content. There's obviously new meta, and I swear to God, I'm going to bitch slap every single person that uses ace of spades in PvP. Please stop it. Please stop it. Please stop
That's
it.
his gun, right?
Yeah, that's Kate's
his-
pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like every friggin' shot that I get killed with now is the ace of spades. And I'm like, isn't there any other gun that people use or...
Yeah,
When it works, it works.
I
It's
know,
super
and that's
powerful.
what everyone's thing is. It's like, yeah, but it's a great gun, so why wouldn't I use it? I'm like, I don't know. Originality.
Super powerful, and the fact that when you aim down sights, it still keeps your minimap up so you can actually see where people are, gives you a pretty good advantage in PvP. But I guess in closing on Destiny 2, what's your thoughts, recommendations, ratings? Give it to us in a sentence.
In a sentence.
Oh, a paragraph if you like.
Without a breath and a full stop. I think everyone that's OG Destiny fans, come back. It's a lot of fun. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Yes, there is still things that are broken in the game. We have experienced certain bounties not being followed through, certain weapon issues, some character, like some connecting impact force on, shooting certain characters and nothing happening or no drops happening kind of thing. But for the most part, it is the Destiny that we remember and love. Come join in because raid season's next week and we get to see friendships end on stream.
Heckin' yeah. No, I'm right with you. I think it's a perfect step in the right direction. It definitely won some more love and trust from me. Destiny 2 Forsaken, it's well worth the cost of admission. The story's nice and beefy. I think there's 12-ish hours worth in main storyline content, and then you've got side quests and everything else that ripples on the back of that, as well as Gambit and a few other things, the raid coming out and what have you. So you get into it. It's nice and meaty, plays well, looks good. It's more of that sci-fi shooter space opera that you love, and go out and pay some respects to Cade Six because he's the man.
Definitely.
What else you playing?
Well, like I said, I kind of rushed out to make sure I played something else because no one wants to hear me just babble on about Destiny. So I just I perused the Switch store and wanted to find like a little indie game, and there was one that I saw. It was called Behind the Screen, and it had a really weird picture for the thumbnail. So I clicked on it, and what it is, it's very general, basic kind of like puzzle game, essentially, adventure puzzle game. But the concept behind it, it tells you that there's a story of a son kills his father, and you essentially go through the puzzle to find out the motive. But you're so far like you're playing as a child and watching him grow up, like you start in like kindy preschool and then you go to middle school and everything like that. But within like these very whimsical, like imaginative scenes, like he'll imagine he's somewhere else. You're also picking up these really dark, you'll hear it, like you'll read like little clippings and stuff like that, and you're like, this is some really fucked up shit going on. Like meanwhile, there's like cute little bears and everything around, and but there's a really dark story. So I haven't finished it yet, but that was interesting. It's an interesting find. In regards to playing it, though, I think it was a mobile game based on how, I won't say basic it is, but like how much of a standard concept it was. So I don't necessarily say you'd have to buy this on the Switch. I think you can get it on Steam as well. So, but it's for a simple kind of puzzle game, puzzle adventure with some very dark, sinister background. It's pretty good. And also played Donut County on my on actually PC. I don't know why I wrote Switch there. It was PC.
It is getting a lot of love.
It is
a lot of love this week.
It is a really sweet game. It is really sweet. The story behind it is very, weird, unique. But also the writing, the dialogue as well. It's very well written. The music is another thing that I want to call out because the music's very, very whimsical, very good. And the gameplay is simply just like you're in control of like a hole and you got to like make objects fall into the hole, and every time you get more stuff falling into the hole gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and before you know it, you're sucking in like buildings and such. So you're essentially just playing with game physics as well. And it's oddly satisfying and relaxing. But I haven't finished that yet, but I have seen someone play it. And it's a fun throw around game. I definitely think support that one. A lot of big names have been playing it too within the gaming industry and giving it some backing. It is, I'm going to say, a little bit of a quick game. So
okay.
I think I'm already like towards the end, and I've only been playing it for not so many hours. But yeah. But it's very sweet.
I guess how deep can a game about a giant hole be? But it looks.
I'll
good,
leave that question to the men of the world.
Deep.
But it's a really sweet game, and I definitely think, especially supporting like indies, that one's a good one to support. You play as a sassy raccoon that destroys your city, and then there's like a king raccoon as well.
Always the bloody raccoons.
Always the bloody raccoons. We miss out here in Australia, I tell you what.
I wish we had squirrels.
Squirrels are adorable. They're everywhere.
We've got possums. They're cool.
But
The
they're not
satanic
everywhere.
cousin of the squirrel.
It's cool. I like possums, dude. Ringtail possums are the best.
They're adorable, but they're only out at night. Like, that's what I loved about California, was walking around and just seeing like just a squirrel, just hanging out, grabbing someone's fruit or something like that and just running in the streets. I'm like, that's so weird.
Yeah, I'd love to have a pet squirrel.
But
I digress. I'm going to quickly jump in here rudely. Sorry, I just dream I'm coming in over the top. I will say briefly, I have played an absolute bucket load of Spider-Man, which was released this week by those legends at Insomniac Games, PS4 exclusive. We're going to deep dive on this next episode, because by then, Dream should have his copy up and running. Jono wants to come on and talk some as well. But short version, it is really, really well done. Probably the best Spider-Man game that's been created. This is my general feeling and probably general consensus out there in the mass media and just general opinions in the populace. So it is so good. Yeah, there is a video up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/we're8bit, that Jono unpacks the sort of early stages of Spider-Man and the basics and some tips and tricks on, you know, aerial maneuverability and web slinging and stuff. So check that out for anyone that is wanting to get in on Spider-Man. Another game, I played the Battlefield 5 beta this week on PC. Connection issues are plenty. Server issues vastly dominated the night. But when I got in, it looked good. It played good. I was still getting killed by snipers that were literally across country lines, it felt like. But it's more of that big squad Battlefield combat. Looks good, plays good, World War II flavored attached to it now. If you love Battlefield, you love periodic sort of shooters, you're going to love Battlefield 5, at least from the multiplayer aspects. So the beta's still running. It's open beta now, and it's running over this weekend. So I think it wraps on Monday. So yeah, sadly, by the time this episode comes out, the beta's probably going to be over, but it's cool, and I'm excited. And on the back of that, they confirmed that their Battle Royale mode is going to be called Firestorm, and it is going to be supporting up to 64 players. So
64?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is still interesting, but that's, I guess, the size of their current big squads, you know, in Conquest and things like that already. So
yeah,
all they're doing is just turning it into 64-player deathmatch, really. But anyway. And the last one... Hang on, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, wasn't 64 like the number that we'd all be disappointed in when we'd play PUBG? It's like, oh, this started the game with like such a low number. Yeah.
I think if the map's small enough to support 64 to be good, but if it's a huge map where you're going periods of seeing nothing, it'll get tough.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Do you want a small map?
Yeah. I don't mind the smaller maps. Like the latest one on PUBG, which is sort of that...
Tropical
I don't know how. Yeah, the little small tropical island. I think that's chaos and it's perfect. Graveyard Keeper is the last game I've been playing.
What is this game?
It's made by Lazy Bear Games, and it's pretty much Stardew Valley, but instead of being a traditional farmer per se, you are the man that looks after the graveyard, and you've got your own little farmstead and everything like that as well. So it's got farming elements to it. But so what's happened in the story? I should take a step back.
Do you farm body parts?
You do as well.
Oh well, okay.
But you actually, we're in sort of present day modern society, and you're this unnamed gentleman. You're on your way home, you get hit by a vehicle, you die, and you go, I guess, to this sort of pseudo afterlife where you've been given the role as the graveyard keeper. And so you get bodies coming in periodically, and you've got to autopsy them, bury them, make the graveyard look nice, as well as man your own farm and food and drink and everything. So it's got all those Stardew Valley-esque events, but it's just a bit darker tonally.
This is the afterlife?
Yeah. Yeah, or at least some, other parallel world. So you've died and you've gone there, but your goal is to escape this world and make it back to present day real life.
Wait,
so
if you're dead and you're in a world of the dead, who are you burying? The dead?
I think they're the dead they're coming through from the real life is my guess. Like I've only played about probably 4 hours. Why didn't they get jobs? I don't know. There is people like there's town folk and there's the bar and everything, just like you do in Stardew Valley. There's shops and blacksmiths and all that kind of stuff. So there is people working.
So you're saying that there's an unemployment issue in this little town, that people are not enough jobs for people, so they're getting buried.
Yeah, or maybe they're just dying twice. I don't know. Like you just get this donkey that talks to you that comes, every so often and drops a body out the front of your house, like out the front of the
okay, so you're
morgue.
looking out for a murderous donkey and burying the evidence.
No, they're just dropping it to you. But then you've got this like talking skull head that sort of acts as your guide through there, and he's trying to help you escape this world, but also obviously he's got ulterior motives as well that he has not yet completely divulged with me. But it's just a slightly darker Stardew Valley with a bit more quirkiness to it, which is fun. I think it was about $15. I'll keep sort of chipping away at it. I wish it was on the Switch because I'd be playing the heck out of it on the Switch, but I've only got it on PC at the moment.
So it's not on the Switch?
Not that I recall, no.
Okay. Because I was going to say, because this obviously does sound like a game I would like, but I don't know if I'd play it on PC.
But no, it's good fun. I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, just aesthetically, play style, it's Stardew Valley through and through, like the same sort of art and graphical stylings, but just with a little bit more of a dark, quirky tone. And being a graveyard keeper and digging graves and doing autopsies and things like that, and you can level up your skill trees to be able to, not just take some flesh and then try and resell that, but you can take brains and all the other organs and resell that or retrofit that into potions and things and make some scratch on the side that way. It's good fun. It's nice and rewarding. I'm enjoying this game so far.
The lore is very interesting.
Yeah, I probably didn't do it enough justice, but that's all I know from my 4 hours ish so far. But moving on, Dream, what have you been doing? There's no WoW on here. I nearly fell off my seat when I opened this agenda.
I know. So let's not talk about it at all. Let's just go straight into what I have been playing. This week, so Spider-Man, I am yet to play Spider-Man. It's currently downloading. I underestimated just how long that process would take to download a full game. It's 48 gigs and it's been running for 2.5 days now. On and off, like not consistently, but you can't always have your PlayStation just on. I don't know why it's taking so long though. Like I reckon I've had it downloading for 15 hours at least.
I'll give you
in Australia.
I'll give you a quick tip.
Yeah, dude.
Pause that download and like unpause it periodically, because I don't know what it is with the PlayStation Store, but it has a real issue with throttling your downloads. Like I started mine at first the other day and it was moving and it was saying, yeah, done within 60 minutes. Cool. But then it slowed right down to, 7 hours. I paused the download, started the download again. And then it was finished within it took less than an hour to get this thing done.
Mine was like 28 hours, dude. It's crazy. Anyway, so suffering through that, whatever. This week I had a Total War itch. I really wanted to play a strategy game, and in my collection I've got both Total War Warhammer, thanks to you, I think, Brendan, you gifted that to me once upon a time, and Total War Shogun 2. So I played them both. I started with Total War Warhammer because that's the one I'm less familiar with, and Warhammer is such a fun, crazy universe. This is the Warhammer fantasy world where it's all like there's elves and dwarves and all sorts of cool shit. It's good, it's fun, but it's also kind of confusing to pick up. I think like with Total War games, it's sort of a rock beats paper or rock beats scissors style game where you need like specific types of infantry to counter enemy armies, and your army makeup is very important, because if you have too much of one thing or you're lacking something else, it makes it very hard when you have matchups that don't really work in your favor to sort of win those tactically. So I had a really tough time actually working out what the hell I needed, because you don't just have like cavalry like horses and stuff, you have monsters and you have griffin style riders that have, they're good with charging and lances, and I don't know. I found it all too hard. So I moved over to Shogun 2, a world that I'm very familiar with as a young white man. Just like any young white man, the only thing we ever wanted was to be samurai, I think.
I can confirm that theory.
So I became the daimyo of my own province once again and took to take over Japan and Kyoto. Far out, I love Shogun 2. It's such a fun game, and it's so hard. I'm playing on a hard difficulty, but it is tough. Like, you find out moves later just how stuffed you are, because you might be like, you might be on one side of Japan and you slowly start taking over neighboring provinces, and you've got this huge landmass, and your army's slowly making its way through to the center of Japan. And then all of a sudden, a freaking invasion force drops a huge army right at the tip, like where your home is, and you've got no one there to defend it. and it would take you like 10 turns to travel your whole army back there because it's just so freaking far away. And by that time, you've lost all this land. And the only way to sort of like fix that is to go back to like a previous save many turns ago and start planning just to defend against that little invasion force. It's really annoying. It's actually really
never
tough.
know.
I'm pretty proud of myself though. Like I'm a bit of a general, bit of a guru.
I was going to say tyrant.
Oh, tyrant? Yeah, well, yeah, that too. I'm really good to my people, though. I never sack any towns. I always peacefully occupy them. That's an option. You can just loot and run, but I like to make sure the people are looked after. The nation's happiness is important to me as their future emperor. So yeah, I love Total War. I think Total War games, like Total War Shogun 2, that's quite old now. Warhammer's 2015 or 2016, I think. They just play so well though. Like they're really fun games for what they are. So if you're at all interested in strategy games, you can't go past Total War. Any of them. I want to play Napoleon next. I think my housemate's got it. I'm gonna pinch it off him. So I've been doing that. I've also been playing a little game that you haven't heard me talk about for a while, but it's a game that's very dear to me. A little game called Tekken 7.
Ooh, I wonder why you got back into Tekken 7.
Dude, this is the best week of my life. So, Lay's back. I don't know if that means anything to either of you two.
Nope.
That means so much to me, though. Lay
He's pretty much Jackie
back.
Chan of the Tekken
is.
world.
Okay.
He totally
Good
is.
description.
He's the Jackie Chan of the Tekken world. He's been there since Tekken 2. It was really upsetting that he wasn't a part of the main roster on launch. There was a lot of controversy within the Tekken community about how Lei was missing. Anna also got released this week, but she was also missing. And there was no plan or no announcement to say that they'd be on their way as DLC. So there was a lot of fan outcry that these characters should be made available. And now, of course, they're here and, you know, we're all better for it. So I've been playing a ton of Lei. He plays just as well as he did in Tekken Tag 2, which was the last installment in the series. And I'm just a happy boy. I just love him. He's the coolest dude. He's my favorite character to play.
Your Merkin dogs?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I like, all right, so yesterday GWS played Sydney Swans, and if that means anything to anyone out there and you're a Swan supporter, suck shit. Because GWS won. But anyway, that was a big blow up for me. Absolutely pumped them. God, it's good to be from the West.
You don't hear that very often, people.
No, you don't. No, you don't. So, yeah, so I came home absolutely legless playing Tekken 7 and yelling at my TV at like 2 a.m. And it was the greatest time of my life.
God, you must be fun to live with.
He's not too bad.
Yeah, actually, yeah, Brendan, you know.
Yeah. No, I had him for a hot minute.
Yeah, I'm not awful. I'm just
Probably
not
should
great.
have phrased that a little bit better.
I'm not awful. I'm just not great.
I'm just not, like, you know, sometimes I don't wash the dishes. That's about as bad as I get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Anna, doubling back to the Tekken 7 talk, is Anna still a sultry old minx?
Oh,
She
dude.
was. I remember she was hypersexualized through all the other games.
Yeah, like, she is. Yeah. And on that note, in the previous install, like Tekken 3, she was introduced. No, Tekken 2, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. She does these weird shimmies, which I think they are what they are because of just the graphics that they had to work with back when Tekken 2 was coming out on PlayStation, the original PlayStation. She does this really weird shimmy, but she still does it. But obviously things look 1,000 times better than they used to. And it looks even weirder that she does this weird little shimmy. It's like, it's not really sexy. I just don't know what it is, dude. But it's meant to be. Like, you can tell it's meant to be. So
It's probably one of the designers. That's his kink or her kink. So he's baked this into Anna way back when, and he or she sees that like little shoulder shimmy.
She just does this,
shoulder
shoulder shimmy.
baby.
Yeah, I think it's meant to be like, you know when no, you know what? I'm not even going to go there because even trying to describe how to be sexy is going to sound really weird on this show right now. So
Does she
I'm just
still
gonna
fart?
Shut my mouth. Huh?
What?
Does she still fart? She did a fart move way back when too, didn't she?
No, that was Gon. I think.
No,
you're
I know
thinking
Gon
of.
did the little dragon dinosaur they brought in Tekken
Does she
3.
fart? She doesn't fart.
You
dude.
sure?
That's not, yeah, she 100%. She doesn't have a fart
What?
move.
That's
Why
right,
would they?
because women don't fart.
They don't. They don't even poo. It's bizarre. So, who farts? I think Kuma does something. I think Kuma kind of does like a little fart. Strong move.
Okay.
And there's one other, but I'm forgetting who it was.
I just quickly Googled it to see if I was right or just completely making up things. And third option that comes up is Tekken fart porn videos on Pornhub. I'm like, not clicking on there right now.
Tekken fart porn videos.
Yep.
Can you please click on it and tell me what comes up? What actually is that?
I'm too scared to click it.
What is that? That's crazy.
God.
Tekken also actually, just to keep going along that train of thought, Tekken is the king of Iron Fist. So, yeah, also a porno thing maybe. I don't know. Is that what they mean by Tekken?
They've replaced the Black Cult with the big Iron Fist,
Metal
you reckon?
Iron Fist, possibly. Also, speaking of Iron Fist, I came home last night wasted to find that Iron Fist Season 2 is out. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Didn't
I
even
could
see
not
that
care.
coming.
That season was just...
He sucks, man.
That was Anna Williams, by the way, doing that. But
Right. You leave Anna out of this, god damn it. She's so gorgeous. As a Tekken character, she's so gorgeous. I'm so glad she's back in the game, dude. She's so much fun to play. But anyway, Lay's better. If you play Tekken, or if you played Tekken, now's a really good time to get back into it, because obviously there's more people coming back to play the new characters that they've been waiting for. So getting ranked games is like, you know, you're not waiting at all. It's like every couple of seconds you're playing someone. It's really cool. And that's really it for me. So yeah, next week I will be joining you, Brendan, and Jono, and possibly Ali, I guess, in talking about Spider-Man.
I mean, I'm not going to play it.
Okay, all right, well, that's fine, Ali. You can sit and wait.
she could chair the discussion.
Yeah, you can facilitate.
Yeah, all right, I can do that.
All right, a quick bit of housekeeping before we get into some news. First things first, obviously we've got PAX Australia down in Melbourne, Victoria, October 26th through to 28th. The 3-day passes, I think, are actually now sold out. So you're going to have to get singular passes for that. For those that have, well done. Hopefully we'll see you there. We'll be working with AT in a pretty big way down there at PAX Australia, which we're pretty excited to announce over the next couple of weeks leading into that. We'll actually be doing a pre-PAX hype episode with Luke Lancaster, who is the head of content there for Read Pop, who chairs PAX Australia, as well as a few of the other pop culture-based events here. So that'll be pretty exciting. Outside of that, as I mentioned, there is a Spider-Man's Basics video available now on youtube.com/weare8bit. And also head over to audiotechnica.com.au for the best in audio equipment. Give a look to the AT4033A. Give it a look, and also give it all a listen and a play at PAX on the show floor. So shall we move into some news?
Yes.
This week's news headlines.
The first one. I'm excited. Henry Cavill has been confirmed that he will be playing the White Wolf himself, Geralt of Rivia, in the Witcher series on Netflix. Casting came out this week via way of social media. A couple of sneaky little Instagram posts on Henry Cavill's personal page, as well as a few other things. Internet went wild. There's already a whole heap of fan art being made of him in the Geralt garb and the makeup and the white hair and the beard and what have you. And he looks pretty fantastic. What do you think? Ali, you haven't played a Witcher game yet, have you?
Nope.
But Dream, you've played a bit of Witcher.
I played, Witcher 2 and Witcher 3. I think it's fantastic casting. I like Henry Cavill or Henry Cavill. I never
Cavill,
get
I
it.
think.
Cavill. Yeah, I think it's Cavill. And then I listened to I think a review of Mission Impossible Fallout, and they kept saying Henry Cavill. I don't know. Who cares?
Idiots.
I think he's pretty good. He was fantastic in Fallout.
But yeah, I'm with you, Henry. He's got a pretty imposing sort of presence on screen. He's a big dude. He's a good looking fella, and I still haven't seen Mission Impossible Fallout, but from the trailers and that one little GIF meme where he does his little shake thing in the bathroom and grows an instant beard.
Just get the guns ready.
Yeah.
Oh, is that him? Is it?
Yeah.
Is he the person that reloads his fist?
It's pretty sick.
Oh. Everyone has said the most recent Mission Impossible was really good, so I probably will give it some time once it comes out on something.
Some other platform.
Sorry, talking about The Witcher. Great casting, really excited. We don't have a release.
Nah, I'm thinking it's probably going to be 2020 at this stage.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Do you reckon that Henry has to thank Boss Logic for the picture that he did?
It was so well put together.
Yeah.
It is. It's a
so
great
well
picture.
put together.
He doesn't have to do shit though.
It's insane how big old Boss Logic's big in his own right now. He is just blown up over the last 18 months, 2 years or so. It's just onwards and upwards for him. But no, I'm excited. I love seeing these big name sort of Hollywood A-listers sort of gravitating more and more towards television. I like seeing when there's a bit of star power that sort of translates. And Netflix, they no doubt they're probably throwing some good money at him to get him there, but it's good to see. And I think it'll certainly add a bit more weight to it. It'll probably have a higher attach rate instead of some random unknown person playing Geralt on a sci-fi fantasy on Netflix. Now there's someone that's instantly relatable and known to the audience.
Is he doing the bath scene? The bath scene?
Oh, there'll be some sex. There'll be lots of sex. Maybe some doodles. Who knows?
There will be sex.
Yeah.
Noted.
I just hope he quotes the one of those lead-in lines we've got in our intro, and then we'll just sort of plug that in over the top. All right. So moving on to the next bit of news. This headline, we'll sort of jump in and out of this article, but it's Fortnite cross-platform compatibility between Xbox/Nintendo and Sony seems less likely. Sony CEO Yoshida proclaims that Fortnite is best experienced on the PS4. So this article comes via Tom Warren at The Verge, and this tied into an interview with the press association at IFA. Yoshida reaffirms that Sony are not looking to implement cross-platform capability, as they believe the best experience for gamers is to play Fortnite solely on PS4. PS4 players are presently unable to use in-game items earned on PS4 accounts when switching over to Nintendo Switch or Xbox, or have their progression transferred across. So this is just some tone-deaf sort of thought process here, I feel. Obviously, they are the big dog. They are leading this generation of console sales. So there is probably some arrogance, and probably justified arrogance, attached to these types of thought processes. But I don't know, moving into the next gen, they could potentially lose some footing where you see Xbox and Nintendo co-promoting things and doing cross-marketing and cross-branding now. It's interesting.
So Yoshida actually goes on to talk about how they've considered this in the past with games like Rocket League, and just really the general experience they think is for their gamers is that it's just better to play on PlayStation solely with your PlayStation friends. So that's the line, and I guess you can't really, if that's the line, that's the line. You can't really read into that more beyond what he's actually telling us, I guess.
It's very us versus them, it feels. It feels like everyone's teamed up, and then Sony in there, and rightfully so. As I said, the sales certainly reflect that they've got a pretty substantial fan base for gamers. But it's interesting that a shop as closed off as Nintendo are starting to open up and play nice with their competitors, but Sony is still just in the corner, arms folded, we're the fun police, leave us alone. And I love Sony. I love Sony games, playing the shit out of Spider-Man, as I said, but it just seems strange to me.
I like the competition. I think the competition is quite healthy. It's interesting the comparison with Nintendo because they were dying on that hill of just being a closed off shop. You know, like they really suffered, but they also aren't Sony. Where Sony is a very different position to where Nintendo was. Sony don't have to make this decision because they're making so much money anyway. I don't know if I want to live in a world where every game's cross-platform compatible. You know, like what does that actually mean for both Sony and Microsoft? When as a gamer, like, how do you decide which one you actually like when they're both the same almost?
But then I guess then it doesn't matter. Like you think of a lot of the multiplayer games we play. Like let's say harken back to a few years ago. Oh, I forgot I was playing Modern Warfare 2 on the Xbox One this week too. But that's a game where I got that on Xbox 360 because all my friends and the people I was playing with got it on Xbox 360. But then I still had some other good friends that were playing it on the PlayStation 3. So in that respect, where it's like now all my friends can come play together and have this singular experience instead of sort of putting a tapered line between it. You know, I like that idea. I think games like that would be fantastic where you could play it all together.
Just get a PC.
Yep.
Just get a PC. It's the best way to do it.
That's what I've been trying to tell y'all.
That is the true best gaming experience.
I don't know. Switch handheld's pretty good. It's convenient.
I was about to say, PC, you can't take it with you, but still.
Yeah. All right. So the last item on today's docket. Headline reads, Killer Games Too Violent for the Olympics, IOC president says. And this comes via Alex Walker at Kotaku. And it reads, the BBC reported that Thomas Bach, president of the IOC, said at a press conference, games that featured killing other people, in quotes, cannot be brought into line with our Olympic values, end quote. And then he goes on to further say, we cannot have in the Olympic program a game which is promoting violence or discrimination, he told the AP. So-called killer games, they, from our point of view, are contradictory to the Olympic values and therefore cannot be accepted. So we're not going to be seeing any PUBG or Fortnite represented at the Olympics anytime soon. I get it to a degree, but then at the same time, it's like boxing and all these other violent-esque sports, even fencing. You're promoting fake stabbing someone with a fucking sword. Yet, you know, things like a Fortnite. Obviously, PUBG definitely not because there's blood and it's more realistic as opposed to a Fortnite. But there's some conflicting, contradicting sort of thought processes here. I've always been under the assumption that if and when gaming makes it to the Olympics, it'd be something like a Rocket League.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
But to just oust violent games, like what they're trying to typecast them as, just seems a little bit short-sighted when they have sports that promote violence in them and have for many, many years.
Yeah, like, I definitely agree. Well, we've actually witnessed a very successful event of the Fortnite, what was it called? The Fortnite Summer... It was an event they just had at PAX, and that was fantastic. It was actually covered really well. What are you laughing at, Sam?
Memorable. It's very obviously very memorable.
I can't remember the name. I was going to call it Summer Smash, but I don't think that sounds right.
Love a good Summer Smash.
This episode.
But it was executed really well in regards to covering the actual event. I thought it was pretty good. So I would like to see that kind of game. But yeah, in regards to the standard of killing, and then also discrimination was the other one that was a point that I was kind of a bit like, okay, what is this guy thinking? So we probably, no PUBG, no COD.
Yeah, no Battlefield.
No
Fortnite. And then where's the line drawn? Like promoting violence, like do they get that nitpicky then that like a really violent or aggressive tackle in a FIFA game, where you can intentionally sort of slide in to do damage? Is that deemed a violent act then?
That's a cop-out if we actually replace, like, put an e-sport of a real sport, right?
That's pretty funny. I love the idea that like, I don't know, a country's team wins the football, and then I don't know, like over a couple of days later, some nerd wins gold medal for someone else's country or something playing FIFA with the same people who just competed in the Olympics using those players.
Man, that'd be so meta.
It'd be crazy. That's a weird world to live in. Do we care? Like, who gives a shit? Really? Like the I don't disagree. I don't know why esports should be at the Olympics. To me, they're not the same.
I mean, I don't care about the Olympics at all.
No, exactly. So, and like, if you think about esports, it just on its own, it's crushing. Like, it doesn't need the Olympics to succeed. It's already succeeding. There's a fucking esports tournament every other day.
How long until we see esports Olympics, where it's country based and they'll have all these games tied into it? How long till that?
I don't know that you will.
That's a big event.
You have countries that just dominate games. Like, who the hell's going to beat Korea in Dota? or League of Legends?
But that's why you have not just a Dota Olympics, have all the games.
LOL. No, I know, but
all the esports.
Just get every guy up there. Games do this already though. Games do, like, I know, like Tekken Nationals. This, it's country based. But I don't know. You need like an Olympic. The Olympics thing's dumb. It's not dumb, but it's kind of. I don't know. I feel like as I get older, the Olympics become less and less relevant. I don't know if that's just because
No, you're right.
My taste is changing, or people in general are just changing, and no one gives a shit about like whether or not your gymnastics team's up to scratch, or if they're just gonna lose, or what. Like, it's all dumb.
But that's why they're going to pivot and
Yeah.
put esports in there to try and cater to the youths.
But that would just piss me off. It's like again, I don't know. I don't know that either of them need each other. Let the Olympics be for the old fuddy-duddies, and the young kids can have their video games.
But imagine if you could represent Australia at the Olympics, playing as Lei Wulong for your country at the Olympics. Obviously, it's a violent game, but I'm trying to make it appealing.
I would hold that over everyone's head. I would hold that over everyone's head if that ever happened. It would never happen, but... Yeah.
I don't know a great deal about esports, but is it illegal to, like, mushroom stamp someone in a game?
What? Is it illegal?
Well, yeah, like, is that breaking the rules, or can you do that in a public field, like...
It probably depends on the tournament. It wouldn't surprise me if in something like Overwatch, like moves like that would definitely be frowned upon. Is
it just frowned upon, or is it like...
Dude, there was a dude. Do you remember that story of the guy who cheered? Like, he was so happy with like his team winning that he got up and kind of, I don't even know if he gave it to the team he was just playing or whatever. But they like, I'm baffling this because I don't have details. But
it was. I remember it was the guy.
He got reprimanded.
Yeah.
He got reprimanded by, I guess, Blizzard for being, openly excited and glad that he just dominated the game.
Yeah, that was. I remember that was in Sydney last year. That was Overwatch when Sweden beat Australia, and the guy was like, "Yes, come on!" And they had got in trouble about it.
Yeah, so definitely in a game where you can't cheer yourself on.
Yeah,
I would definitely think the mushroom stamping's not allowed.
Side note: I just had to Google what that meant, and I don't know if I'm looking at the right answer, but yeah, I don't think we're going to see the mushroom stamping that I just found.
Have you bookmarked that next to the
Tekken fart porn? I've got a lot of research to do after this podcast.
There's an argument to be had that Google itemizes things based on your previous search history. So,
well, this
top bill.
I'm
so if
very.
You just keep getting those at the top,
because
you should have gotten some very wholesome arts and crafts there for mushroom stamps, but you got something.
I got where a guy slaps his penis on a guy's head and leaves a shape of like a bruise or a mark of a mushroom.
Well, it's meant to be a scrotum, isn't it? Isn't it the
it's the penis, and I guess the head of the penis is the top of the mushroom.
God. Whoever came up with that.
Yeah.
You're a legend. You're an absolute legend.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was. You mentioned it. I'm like, I got to find out what's going on here. And I'm like, oh, okay.
A variation to the tea.
Yeah. We won't see that at the Olympics.
Oh god. Look, the only thing we can take away from this is obviously the Olympics are still thinking about having esports in the Olympics. They're just going to filter through what they're going to accept. And yeah, obviously the Olympics is still dying and no one cares about it. So
Yeah.
I mean, weren't they expecting it in Paris?
Yeah,
that-
not
What
in
do you
the
mean?
not in the formal like. I think they were going to trial it at the Asian games to start
that's
with, and then they
right,
were going to
yeah.
maybe look at it in the in sort of a few offshoots before they committed to a full-fledged esports insertion into the proper Olympics. But yeah,
Fair
it's
enough.
interesting. We'll see something.
I'll tell you what, man. I am pretty excited for Tokyo 2020. Is it Tokyo? It's in Japan. I think it's Tokyo. As far as the Olympic, as cool as the Olympics could be, like that will be the coolest thing. I think just Japan will just go nuts.
I hope
With
so.
crazy like Japanese Hello Kitty
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm hoping like
That'd
the Olympic mascots they have for that is like giant Gundams or something.
They already released it. No, what am I thinking of?
Probably Australian Commonwealth.
I think I might be thinking of FIFA. I don't know. Yeah, there was yeah, no, I'm confusing it. They released the mascots to maybe Commonwealth. They all look like Pokemon, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, no complaints. Not far away now from Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Let's go.
Let's go Eevee all the way, son.
Let's go Pikachu.
Anyway, this is obviously not going to be the last time we talk about video games making their way into the Olympics. But for now, quote unquote killer games will not be considered. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
So that's the news this week. It's pretty light on. You know, we were definitely scraping the bottom of the barrel to find some newsworthy headlines here. But I think we did it
It's
justice.
where you can find us. Yeah.
The bottom of a barrel.
The bottom of a barrel.
Yeah, near the Traveller, hanging out near the ramen shop.
Damn right.
Oh yeah. But anything you two lovely people want to discuss or mention before we start fading out for another week?
It's called the Summer Skirmish, the Fortnite competition, by the way. I was partially right.
Glad you got that in there at the end.
Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, no. No. Are we on plugs? Is that what we're up to?
Yeah.
Well, I guess things were on plugs. If you want, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at SaleemTD.
You can find me everywhere on the socials at Miss Ali Hart.
You can find myself everywhere at Brendan8bit and find us as a collective at We Are 8bit. But I guess until next week, 8bit Nation, be sure to check out the hashtag 8bit Collective for 9 other podcasts of great content. But till we see you at episode 120, much love.
Stay hungry.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.